My name is Roxanne Sydenham and I'm a student of sports psychology at CQU. This presentation will discuss the potential positive and negative psychological effects of anabolic steroid use. Mention anabolic steroid use and most people would get a mental image of a bodybuilder with hypertrophied muscles. We know that anabolic steroids affect our bodies physically in various ways, but can anabolic steroid use affect us psychologically? What are anabolic steroids? Anabolic steroids are a synthetic version of the male sex hormone testosterone. Anabolic means muscle building, and androgenic refers to male sex characteristics. The biological effects of anabolic steroids are increased body weight and mass, increased muscle size and strength, increased blood volume, and increased red blood cells. In the 1950s, the medical profession started using anabolic steroids to treat patients with muscle wasting diseases or patients with hormone deficiencies. Today, anabolic steroids are used also to treat patients suffering from osteoporosis, breast cancer, and HIV. Around the same time that the medical profession started using anabolic steroids, they also became popular among athletes and bodybuilders as a performance-enhancing substance. The World Anti-Doping Agency has listed anabolic steroids as a banned substance in all sports. Are there any positive psychological effects of anabolic steroid use? In a study of men using anabolic steroids, Vassalio and Ulrich found that 95% of participants reported an increased level of self-confidence. After stopping the use of anabolic steroids, the participants reported a drop in self-confidence and a perceived loss of mental edge. Maganaris, Collins and Sharp found that users of anabolic steroids had what is called an expectancy effect. So the expectancy effect is when the participant expects a certain result. In this study, participants were powerlifters and were given pills immediately before a lift and pills to be used in training. The participants believed that the pills were anabolic steroids. During the trial, all participants improved their lifts above their previous baseline. However, after it was revealed to the participants that the pills were a placebo and not anabolic steroids as they thought, the increase in their performance disappeared. In a similar study using weightlifters using a placebo that they believed to be anabolic steroids, Ariel and Seville had a similar result, with the participants experiencing an expectancy effect. Therefore, anabolic steroids can positively impact on an individual's performance expectation and self-confidence. Anabolic steroids have been found to induce positive mood symptoms such as euphoria, energy, and sexual arousal. In the same study, found that anabolic steroids can lead to negative mood symptoms such as irritability, mood swings, violence and hostility, as well as distractibility, forgetfulness, and confusion. Pope and Kratz found a link between anabolic steroid use and mania, hypomania, and major depression. In a study of competitive female bodybuilders, Goldfield found that 40% of participants that suffered bulimia nervosa and muscle dysmorphia also used anabolic steroids. In a study of muscle dysmorphia, Pope, Gruber, Choi, Oliviadia and Phillips reported similar findings of a link between anabolic steroid use and muscle dysmorphia. Gruber and Pope also reported similar findings in their study of the psychiatric effects of anabolic steroid use in women. Denham, Hawkins, Jones and Billings found that anabolic steroid use in the first dimension of the female athlete triad had negative behavioural implications, such as alcohol or marijuana use, unprotected sex, and physical confrontations. High-risk behaviours associated with anabolic steroid use was also found to be significant in a comprehensive 1995 study of 3,054 high school students in the USA. Stacking is the mixing of two or more anabolic steroids in the belief it will produce greater muscle mass. Choi, Parrott and Cowan found that male strength athletes who engaged in stacking were significantly more hostile and aggressive compared to non-steroid users. Reardon found that athletes who stack were more likely to abuse alcohol and sedatives to counteract the other effects of stacking. Conviction for violent crime and anabolic steroid use was found to have a strong association in a study of 10,365 men in Sweden in 2011. This indicates that steroid use can make the user aggressive and violent. The Canadian Centre for Ethics in Sport has released a series of posters highlighting the positive and negative physiological and psychological effects of steroid use. As discussed, anabolic steroid use can have positive psychological effects for the user, most notably increased self-confidence and a positive performance expectation effect. These positive effects appear only while the user is maintaining a regime of anabolic steroid use. Negative effects are depression, risky behaviour, aggression and violence, and body dysmorphia. It would appear that the negative psychological effects of anabolic steroid use far outweigh the positive psychological effects, and that steroid use is psychologically dangerous for the user and potentially for others around the user. Thank you for listening to my presentation on the positive and negative psychological effects of anabolic steroid use.